So this is the kit for cutting 120 film into 127 format. The kit is made of many components. These ones are the components that we will use when cutting, and these ones will be used when spooling back the slitted film into the 127 spool. The ruler and this clip are going to be used in all the phases, and this is the box. We will use the box 2 times, one for the cutting and one for spooling back the film into the final spool. Before we start, we need to have the 2 spools, one empty 120 film spool and one empty 127 spool. To do all the process, we also need some adhesive tape, sharp pen and scissor, and also obviously we're going to have a film to cut. Okay, the empty 120 film will be our take-up spool when we are going to cut the film, and to cut the film we will have the 2 parts of the film go through this cutter. Here is the blade, and the result will be this large portion with 127 film format, and this little portion with 16 millimeters film, which can be used in 120 cartridges. So this is the take-up spool, and we will add this little piece that has 2 slots for the 2 film starters. We put into the 120 film spool slot here, and we have the 2 little apertures here to make the film engage with the spool when rolling. So let's just put it here and open up the film. This is when the scissors and the pen come into play. Open this up, and we need to cut 2 starters for the backing paper, and in order to avoid the film from unraveling, we use this clip, so the film will be blocked like that, and we use this shape to cut the backing paper exactly in the shape of this thing. These 2 tails will go inside here, but before we'll pass through the cutter. Okay, all we need to do now is to make the 2 starters go through the cutter and cut the first, let's say, a couple of inches of backing paper, and then we put the 2 tails inside this and this slot. Okay, pretty simple. Now we can put everything into the box. There we go. Before closing the box, we add this knob over the take-up spool. We close the box and then we start rolling. There is an arrow indicating the rotation, so you can't get it wrong. Just go on until the end. Okay. Now the film is cut completely. When rotating becomes very easy and you feel that this spool is moving inside the box, it means that all the film and the paper is onto the take-up spool, and so you can just remove this. Before you take it out, use the clip to block the 127 part of the film, and if you want to use the 16mm part, you just close it like this and use maybe a little piece of tape and lock it like that. So now we have cut the film. This is the 127 portion of the film. In order to make the backing paper go through the spool slot, we need to cut the starter like this, a V shape. Another important thing to do is go slowly to the field here, because we have to stick the film to the backing paper to avoid it jam inside the box. So we just get some tape, just enough for the film. Alright. And now we are ready to roll this film into the receiving spool. We are going to put this, I don't know how to call it, it's a glide around it shape that will help the film keep some tension while it goes from this spool to this frame, right? So the film will go like that and stay very straight. We have to assemble the receiving frame, be sure that it is well engaged, and we fix the thing with this little piece there, and also just to make sure that it will not move inside the box, I usually fix it with the two little piece of tape. Alright, so we are ready to go. Okay, what we have to do is engage the film to the spool. On this frame you will see that there is a little arrow here that shows where the film should go, and there is a little arrow here that shows which is the right rotation to roll the film correctly. We put, I'll show you, just give it a couple of rotation just to be sure that it will be well in line. Okay, and now we just have to put this all into the box. I don't know if you can see how I'm putting it inside, like this. Remove the clips so that the rolls sits inside, and start rolling a little bit just to make sure that there is a good tension inside the box, and close the box in this way to make sure that this knob doesn't move freely, and just rotate in the correct direction. Again, when you hear that there is some moving parts inside the box, it means that the 120 film that is moving, so everything is rolled onto the receiving spool. You can open up the box. As you can see, you have your 16mm film here, and I don't know what to do. And this is the film we just cut. This is very wonderfully cut. Just remove everything, and here we go. If you want to make it as thin as possible in order to go inside cameras that have very little film slots, you can pull the paper so that the roll becomes a little thinner. And if you want it to be even more thinner, you can remove some of the paper so the film can go inside very little slots. So this is it. This is ready to go into a camera. And all I have to do is use its original label so I can remember that this is U4 HP5 film 127 version, and hope you like it.